Hi! This is Gingersnap. I'm Lisa Redfern. This is a conversation and a cookie with a creative Mainer. I'm really, really excited because, not only because this is episode 100, but I'm here with my old friend Kenneth Kortemeier, and we're here in Bristol at his Maine Coast Craft School. We're actually in the school right now. And so Kenneth, welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. So tell everybody about what kinds of things you guys make here.
Well, we make a lot of things. We mostly have been building the building so far. I do a few commissions in the wintertime, but mostly we're in the business of education.
Mm-hmm.
So we have classes in the summertime, and in the fall and winter, we spend our time finishing off this structure that is our school.
Mm-hmm.
And so we make, I guess what we make is mostly things in wood, and we mostly make things by hand with hand tools. And but we do some basket making and some furniture making, chair making, spoon and bowl carving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
beautiful.
Oh, there we go. Oh, good. Now Kenneth is lit up.
So but we specialize in what I think of as more sculptural woodworking.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to work directly with material. So we wind up working a lot with green wood, which is wood that's very fresh and not dried. So we might go out and, for example, find a striped maple and split it in half and make coat hooks or something like that from it. Or we might take some black ash and pound it and make baskets. You know, all of that's done when it's green. We also take red oak and rive it, which is a type of controlled splitting. So we'll rive it and make parts for chairs straight from the tree. We actually have a class this summer called Make a Chair from a Tree.
Oh, that's really cool.
So we'll start with a section of a straight-grained red oak and then split out the pieces and have a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've built a boat? You used to build boats.
I haven't built a boat since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you miss that?
I do miss it sometimes. I miss being on the water more than the build. Well, I do like building boats as well, but I especially liked using the boats, especially small sailboats. And so I do miss I used to teach with Hurricane Island Outward Bound School, and
wow, now you're really lit up.
I really liked that.
This is going to be a study in light and shadows here at the
Maine Coast
at the Maine Coast Craft. It'll come back around.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fading in and out here.
Okay, so I know the answer to this, but when did you first come to Maine?
I came to Maine the summer of 1996. Is that right?
I think it was
97. I think it was 96, right? That's when the summer we met. Was it? Yeah, the summer of 96.
Yep, 96.
And I had come up here to, I had been down in North Carolina, and I was interning at a very similar school to this called Country Workshops. And I had had the opportunity to meet a fellow named Jim Austin, who we did a Norwegian lapstrake pram together, which is...
Say that again.
A Norwegian lapstrake pram.
I love the word lapstrake because we had one when we were kids. We had a lapstrake that we took out into the Chesapeake and the...
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I just like that word, so I wanted to hear you say it again.
And then after that class with Jim down there in North Carolina, I was just really intrigued with wooden boats, and he said, well, come to Maine. So I came, I think I got here in August of that summer, and then found myself in Camden and working on the schooners. That's when I met you, and then it really was kind of over the series of things worked out where I was able to come back. Yeah. I didn't come here full time really until 2003, and that was when I was offered a position teaching at the
Mm-hmm.
Carpenter's Boat Shop.
Right. And you and Angela were there you were there for 10 years. When did you meet Angela, and when did
she
work
was there
the whole
she
time?
came there
Okay,
with
right.
me. Yeah, Angela and I met in Atlanta, because after a bit of traveling and whatnot, I wound up down in Atlanta at the Atlanta College of Art, overseeing the woodshop and sculpture department.
Mm.
Well, it was more. I wasn't really overseeing it. I was a facilitator there, and I
Mhm.
was teaching woodworking and keeping the shop in order and
Mhm.
teaching safety and whatnot. But anyways, Angela was also teaching at the Atlanta
Mhm.
College of Art as an
Mhm.
adjunct faculty in 2D and 3D design.
Mhm.
And then I was coming to Maine in the summers, still doing Hurricane Island Outward Bound School. And then the boat shop offered us the position, or offered me a teaching position in 2000, starting in the fall of 2003.
Mhm.
And so Angela and I had just gotten married that January of 2003.
Mm.
And so we left Atlanta and came up to Maine.
Mhm.
And then I wound up, that's how I came,
Mhm.
teaching. And I taught there for 10 years. And then we started this in 2016. Well, this is our third season. I guess it was like 2016, or I guess 2017 was our first season of workshops. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So your son, I imagine, has learned a lot of this.
He has
learned a lot of this alongside.
He's absorbed a lot, over it's kind of being immersed in it.
Well, yeah. I mean, what a great place to raise a kid, in Maine, for one thing, and then in this atmosphere where they're picking up so much really, really wonderful life skills. And,
I asked him the other day, I said, because it's as he's getting older now, and he'll go to his friend's house and whatnot, and they have electricity and flush toilets and
all the modern conveniences.
I asked him the other day, I said, what's it, what do you think about, living with an outhouse and, not having running water and having to carry water in the house and have the, your heat come from the wood stove and everything. And he said, well, it's fun, but, sometimes it's less convenient. So I thought that was a good answer.
That is a good answer. It's not. He was able to make it not a negative thing, but sort of just a contrasty sort of thing.
Very matter of fact, yeah.
All right, Kenneth, do you know your first word? And if you don't, what do you think it may have been?
I did. Well, I didn't know what it was until I realized you were going to be asking that. So I actually asked my mother, and she said it was mama.
Yes.
So
that's good. Mama. All right. Well, my first word was cookie. So this is my excuse for having cookies. And Kenneth's wife, Angela, got these in town, actually, for us at, tell me what it is.
The Barn Door Baking.
The Barn Door Baking. Okay, so I'm going to try a little bit of this one. Go ahead. Pick. We have 3. She got us a little variety pack. Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
And we should say Angela helps to run all of this as well. You do this together.
Yes, we're on. Oh, look at that red inside.
Orange inside. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try some of this.
I had mentioned to Lisa that it would be appropriate to have Angela here as well, but it's hard to do two people.
We could have had sort of done like a video bomb in the middle.
Right.
All right. So, did you have... I gotta put these back on. Did you have a car when you were a kid that was really cool, or when you were an adolescent, that you would get back if you, like, you're like, oh man, it'd be so great to get blah, blah, blah back?
When I was, I guess I've always had an interest in mechanical things, and I liked working on them and repairing them and finding old ones and fixing them up. But I had a Land Rover. My very first car was a Land Cruiser, which was one of the FJ40s, which was really fun. But then I got the Land Rover, which had an aluminum body, and it had all the British, and it had like manual windshield wipers and things. And so that was really fun to use that for a while. And sometimes I think it would be fun to have it, but sometimes I'm glad I don't have it anymore. I've always actually been lucky enough to have older cars. Like I still have this 1977 Ford F100 with a 3-speed column shift that I maintain and So it's like I don't think I've ever moved out of not having a car that is pretty fun. And I actually have a 1946 CJ2A Willys Jeep that's kind of under.
Didn't you have that a long time ago?
No, I only had.
I feel like you had a Willys Jeep.
No, I've never had. This is the first Willys Jeep.
Oh, okay.
But I have that waiting in the wings for if the truck ever gives it up, I'll restore the Jeep.
Oh, God. I had a friend that had a Willys Jeep. I think I was thinking. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just still. You politely had one bite. I'm just,
I'm trying to get this.
I'm going for it. Okay, so are you a reader? And if so, are there books that you have loved so much that you have recommended them over and over again?
Well, I'm not. I read mostly. I read craft books and sort of how-to manuals.
Mm-hmm.
Like
before you go to bed.
I was reading one about just sort of those things, and so I was thinking that wasn't really as interesting. So I was thinking about another kind of book, and I read one that that Angela had gotten called "The Mental Load" by this woman named Emma. I guess she just goes by her first name, Emma. Mm-hmm. But it's a feminist graphic novel. It's a comic, a comic book.
Yeah.
But it had. I recommended it to a few of my male friends because I thought it had some really valuable information that I hadn't really. This woman Emma put it in a really way that was easy for me to interpret and digest, and I thought it was really relevant and helpful information.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So on to music. So are there songs, albums that you have come back to again and again that have been really important to you in your life?
Well, I thought this was it was a little bit tricky question. I don't have a way to listen to music. I mean, I only have a radio. So there. And I like listening to my radio. And fortunately, I can pick up WRFG and WMPG, the two public kind of community radio station, one in Portland and one in, down near Blue Hill. And there's this other radio station called the Memory Station, which is on AM 730. And it's this guy who's, it's his hobby. He's in Bath. What's his name?
Oh, is he the guy that does all the really, really old? My gosh, I know exactly who you mean, and I can't think of his... Okay.
Bob Bittner's his name. And, he just owns this radio station and has a little fundraiser in August. So that's kind of fun to listen to. So I kind of bounce between those three stations. But that's mostly what I listen to now. Occasionally, Angela and I will have music, and it's fun to hear it. But there's nothing that I really... I mean, sometimes there are those radio stations play stuff from the 90s and, some of the alternative stuff I used to listen to. I used to go to
Atlanta.
I used to go to a lot of punk rock shows.
I don't know why. It is hard for me to imagine you at a punk show. For some reason.
I think I have tinnitus now because all the punk rock shows I used to go to. Wish I had worn hearing protection back then. It's
sort of a disconnect. Kenneth Kortemeier at a punk rock show in Atlanta. Dancing all around. Okay, so if a movie was made about your life, Kenneth, what genre do you think it would be?
Yeah.
And who would you like to have them cast as you?
Well, this was another one that was kind of tricky for me to think about. But Angela and I at the Lincoln Theater, we went to see Roma.
Oh, gosh. No, it's on my list. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Well, it was so beautiful. And I don't think the movie was about my life or anything. But what did kind of strike me is the way that it was filmed. The way the director composed the shots and focused on very simple things, I think. And that it was filmed in black and white. And it had this vintage 1971 sort of, there were cars from that period and bicycles. So I was thinking that film was very much a film that could, if it were a different subject, it could be
Like the look and feel of it. Yeah.
And how the director used the light and things that the director chose to focus on. And the way the sound was, it was so lovely. Just the ambient sounds of the neighborhood there in Mexico City, of like a dog barking and children playing, and just sort of a focus on simple things, I think appealed to me. And I thought that
makes sense.
I couldn't think of a particular movie, but that was sort of a style that appealed to me. And I think I would probably wind up playing myself. I couldn't think of anybody that I could say, oh, that person would be great to play me. I mean, I'm sure someone could act like me, but I thought I probably could act like myself better.
You can definitely act like, it would be more of a documentary then. Yeah. Ken starring in his own movie. Yeah. So oh my gosh, the name so there is an actor who I sometimes see and I think of you, and it's Gael Garcia, the Mexican.
Oh, was he in the Motorcycle Diaries?
Yes, and Mozart in the Jungle. And
somebody else told me that.
My sister-in-law and my sister Amy and my sister-in-law Lisa Jean are going to say, I can't believe you forgot his name while you were doing your Gingersnap. Gael Garcia. Oh. Anyway, do you know who I mean? You know who I mean. So a little bit. There's a little likeness there.
That's sort of similar.
Yeah, and in some ways, even his, he has a generosity of spirit that I think of when I think of you, and a warmth. You both have that also. So anyway, all right. So if people want to get in touch with you, they can go to maincoastcraft.com. Is that right?
Yeah, maincoastcraft.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we have an Instagram page as well. It's also Main Coast Craft. Just Main Coast Craft is the Instagram name. Yeah.
Cool.
And we have a website, maincoastcraft.com. And we also sell specialized woodworking tools that we import from Sweden.
Oh, cool.
And also from some domestic blacksmiths that we work with. So they're axes and adzes and gouges and knives and a few other odds and ends, but things that are related to this type of hand tool woodworking that we do.
Can you tell these guys quickly the story? You don't have, it doesn't have to be quickly. The story that you told me about the guy selling spoons to come.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a sweet.
So there's a fella named Jordan who I was talking to Lisa earlier about how the school has started to generate a lot of interest, and people will arrive sometimes. And Jordan wanted to come here and spend time with us and learn more about things that we were doing. And so he rode his bicycle from New York to here, and then he sold spoons along the way to support his trips. And he had some homemade saddlebags on his bike, and he had painted on there "Spoons for Food."
I just love that.
I think that's his web. He has Spoons for Food as his Instagram page. Yeah,
where is he now?
He's moved back. He's out in Washington State. But I'm sure he'll see him again sometimes.
Wow. That was really cool. All right, Kenneth, you've been ginger-snapped.
Oh, good.
You made it. You did it. Thank you so much. And so, yes, if you want to get in touch with Kenneth about all kinds of wonderful things, do get in touch with him.
Yeah, please do.
If you need or want to know more about me or my music, you can go to lisaredfern.com. I got some stuff coming up this spring and summer. And so this is Gingersnap 100. I can't believe it, and I'm so excited. And it's been such an honor and a pleasure to be in people's homes and studios and to find out what they're doing, because I'm just kind of curious and nosy. And and it's just been, a lot of the people I've interviewed, like Kenneth, some have been old friends, some have been new friends, some I've met because of Gingersnap, and that's been really sweet too. So anyway, we'll see you next time. All right, here's my little song. This has been Gingersnap.